Welcome back, Nerd Squad! The Birds of Prey film is coming up fast, in a few days, and we thought why not celebrate one of its members by touching on just a little bit more why she is such a badass as we count down the top 10 superpowers you didn't know Black Canary had. Also keep in mind who we are talking about here. This is Black Canary, known for her sonic scream, also known as her Canary Cry. So with that out of the way, we are going to look at some of her other abilities, skills, equipment, and feats when it comes to her power set that you might not have been aware of. With the New 52, a lot actually changed with Black Canary in regards to her backstory, but one thing that has remained constant throughout her existence in the comics is that she is still one tough cookie who should not be underestimated. And those fishnets, which I'm also a huge fan of. As always, be sure to stick around till the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Super Durability. Dinah is tough and strong. In the New 52 and even before this all likely came from the training that she did prior to her life as a vigilante, and her experience fighting crime thereafter. At one point, she is shown being durable enough to survive jumping down a stairwell to save time, and catching herself on a ledge with a single hand. The fact that she doesn't appear to injure herself or break any parts of her hands or her wrists or her arms or dislocate a shoulder shows just how tough she is, and how brave she is for even trying such a stunt. I mean, like, whoa, I would not do that. I'd be like, I'm gonna die! She does kind of jump over the rail being like, I might die, but it's fine. Number 9. Master Martial Artist. In the New 52, Black Canary was retconned. Instead of being the daughter of a vigilante and a police officer, she grew up an orphan on the city streets. Desmond Lamar was the owner and trainer of a dojo and found her dumpster diving. He took her in, giving her food and lodging in exchange for her help cleaning and maintaining the dojo. Eventually, he also began to train her. She went on to become a black belt and a master martial artist, being trained in jiu-jitsu and judo. When Desmond discovered he had cancer, he changed his will so that Dinah would inherit the dojo after he passed away. Oh my gosh. And while it was in her care, she actually trained many other students there as their master. That is until the dojo was lost in a fire during a citywide power outage, which caused Dinah to begin her career as a team-based hero who would then go on to gain her superpowers. And let's not forget that one time that Black Canary and Lady Shiva swapped lives pre-New 52. Also, Lady Shiva's trained her a bunch, so there's a lot of stuff here. Number 8. Accuracy. When you have been in and out of a relationship with Green Arrow as many times as Black Canary has, you would kind of expect that she might have some proficiency with a bow, and this might have rubbed off on her because it's kind of Green Arrow's thing. And in a way, it has. One thing that we have seen Black Canary adopt is a certain affinity for accuracy. That is to say, she has a way with arrows. More specifically, we've seen her use speed, accuracy, and skill to pluck an arrow mid-flight, right before it was about to strike its intended target. Impressive. Along with that, we have seen her accurately destroy an arrow as it soared, targeting and shattering it with her Canary Cry before it could find its mark. Which, I mean, is less impressive because I feel like it radiates, but still pretty cool that she could be like, I'll just break it. Canary Cry is so useful, actually. When people know how to write it properly, it's a pretty cool superpower. Number 7. Motorcycle. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Amanda, having a motorcycle is not a superpower. And you're right, it's not a superpower. But hear me out. Black Canary just doesn't own a motorcycle. She's exceptionally skilled at driving it. And just driving in general, actually. In my opinion, she could actually add stunt driving to her resume as a skill. Based on what she's shown us, this is a job she could definitely rock. Also, I would read a series where Black Canary was a stunt driver. I feel like that'd be super cool. She's like, I'm a rock star by night and a stunt driver by day. Basically, I'm just the coolest person ever in my fishnets. Number 6. Canary Cry Bombs. Black Canary isn't always superpowered in the comics. In fact, in the Arrowverse, she doesn't have powers at all. Laurel Lance, as we know her, is actually forced to rely on tech for a Canary Cry as a result. And likewise, when she has become depowered in the comic book world, Dinah has been forced to turn to tech to give her that extra oomph. One of her favorite gadgets to use in times where she has found herself without her superpowers has been her Canary Cry bombs. These circular little bombs explode with a big, shrill sonic blast, and work to provide a good substitute for her debilitating and destructive scream even when she's without it. Number 5. Fishnet Armor. During Volume 3 of Birds of Prey, Candor joined the team for a while. Due to Black Canary making a jab at his costume, he decided to make fun of hers, focusing on the fact that she was wearing fishnets. How rude, how dare you. This is when we discovered, though, the tactical purpose behind Black Canary's fishnets, which I love. She later told him, when he kept calling her fishnets, that these fishnets were actually armor. They were Kevlar carbon fiber polymer mesh with self-repairing nanobots, so take that. Also, her initial response to his remark about them is priceless. She makes fun of his bird suit, he asks if she's wearing fishnets, and she throws the question right back at him, saying that he's been staring at them for long enough, so he should probably know. Number 4. Mental fortitude. During a fight against Mortis, Black Canary was feeling the effects of their empathic powers. With one touch, Mortis was able to bring flooding back all of Dinah's biggest life regrets. This is a villain who is known for causing people to commit suicide with their emotionally corrupting powers, but Black Canary's will was too strong to give in. She managed to fight off the effects of Mortis's infectious touch, focusing on the love for her teammates and refusing to give up. Not only is she physically strong, but Dinah is also emotionally strong as well. Number 3. Flight. That's right, during Volume 3 of Birds of Prey, we also get to see Black Canary use her canary cry to soar across a gorge. This is a power that even I was surprised to find out about, but Volume 3 of Birds of Prey was a big one for Black Canary. Dinah's powers are fluctuating and we get to see a lot of growth with them as a result. She's basically just a badass in this series and I really love it. If you haven't read Volume 3, you should go read it. Also, if you haven't read a lot of Birds of Prey, you should go read a lot of it because it's really good. But don't take my word for it, read it. Number 2. Liquify. Eventually, Black Canary's canary cry has become so strong that it has been implied in the comics that she can liquefy bones and even shatter skulls and dissolve brains. So while you think earplugs might be all you need to deal with Black Canary, you'd be wrong. Not only is she tough, a skilled fighter, an amazing singer, and a skilled driver, but her canary cry has grown over the years to become one of the most powerful superpowers. Not just for her. As I said before, it's her only real superpower, but also within the DC universe it's just become super powerful. As her canary cry grows, who knows what she'll be able to take on next. I'm just waiting for her to develop enough that she might be able to use it to cause like global earthquakes and tidal waves. Like she'll just be creating natural phenomenons with it. Not that a superhero would likely seek to do that, of course. That's my supervillain mind coming in. Sorry about that. Number 1. Demolish buildings. No big deal. During the Clash of Daggers story arc, Black Canary experienced an increase in her power levels. These flare-ups were causing her to lose control of her powers somewhat, and she accidentally created a citywide power outage in Gotham when, during a fight, she blew up a power station. Yeah, and she wasn't even trying to do that. I know, it's crazy. The flare-up she was experiencing made her unleash her canary cry uncontrollably on a level she hadn't previously experienced. Also, she knocked Starling down pretty hard in the process as well, unintentionally. But it was like a cliffhanger at the end of that issue. You were like, oh my gosh, what happened? But then Starling got right back up, so not as cool. Still, the power station was destroyed, that's pretty cool. I hope this list gave you something new to appreciate about Black Canary. Who is your favorite Birds of Prey member? Do you prefer New 52 or pre-New 52 Black Canary? If you could see Black Canary team up with anyone in the comics, who would it be? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Newest Spider-Man Villains. Rin theorizes, calling it now, Kindred is Captain Stacy, Gwen's father. Ooh, I like this theory! I still think it would be cool if it was Uncle Ben though. But I think your theory actually makes a lot more sense than my theory. Mida Gray comments, my favorite thing about Olivia Octavius is that in the movie, before the reveal, she said something along the lines of, my friends call me Liv. When she shows up at Aunt May's house, Aunt May says, oh, hello Liv, in a disappointing tone, as if she has some sort of history with her. Oh my gosh. So I read this comment and I've watched Into the Spider-Verse multiple times and never noticed this moment, but I liked this so much I went back and I watched that scene, and you are right, it totally happens and it's so good. If you haven't seen it, you guys have to go back and watch that scene right now. Aunt May actually says super sarcastically, oh great, it's Liv.
Place, real homey.
Oh great, it's Liv.
I love this so much because, oh my goodness, just thank you so much for sharing it. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to like, sub, ring the bell, and do the thing, Julie. Till next time, this has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube. Excuse me, did I like choke on that one? Lols, love that. Love when people are like, are you really wearing that? And then you're like, you've been staring at me for 20 minutes, so like you tell me what I'm wearing. I'm fine. That's what Black Canary just did. She's like, I know, you're looking at my fishnets. Love it. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe I'm lame because of it, but I don't care.